Hey there YouTube, I'm Jack and this is Raw Tropical Living. Thanks for joining me today. Hope you guys are all doing well out there under the circumstances, making the best out of this time that a lot of people are stuck in their house. And if you're not stuck, if you have to be going out, I hope you're being safe. Today we're going to talk about a basic raw food diet and getting started. Guys, if you're not already subscribed to the channel, please go down there now and hit that big red subscribe button. Then be sure you click on the little bell and check send notifications so you'll stay subscribed to the channel. This is another one of my beginner videos for some of the people that are migrating over to my YouTube channel from Instagram. And I would invite you to come the other way. I share a lot of stuff on Instagram. I'm on Instagram every single day. I do stories every day, I post every day, and I do videos on IGTV over there. And I get a lot of people asking me questions, and also too, you know, I've been doing it for a while, so I'm always getting new people and people are dropping off. First of all, look at who you're talking to. Soak up some of the essence of how I do this thing. I get questions all the time like I'm a professor. I'm very experiential. Everything I talk about on here has come from my experience. I'm not going to do homework. I'm not going to write a paper for you. I'm not going to write a thesis. If I've got to go look it up and go, okay, well, why this, blah, blah, blah. Because let me tell you something. I drank for so long, I don't have a lot of retention up here. So when I first started looking into all of this stuff, I go through, I evaluate, my brain's not mush, I can't retain things. I evaluate things and I make my decisions and then I move on. I can't sit here and spit it, like do those 100 question type things. I just don't have the space up there. So people ask me questions a lot of times and I'm like, that's just not what I do. That's not what I do. Now, one thing let me say, I'm not by any means going to ever tell you that my way is the only way. I'm not even going to tell you that my way works for you. Once again, all I've ever tried to do on this channel is just show you what has worked for me over the last almost 8 years. And it should work for you because I was a messed up drunk. People sometimes act like I'm special, but I wasn't. So let's dive into how you do get started here. First of all, take it in small bites. Everybody wants to jump into this thing and they're all nervous. I get nervous questions or I see nervous posts in groups a lot. And it's usually, you don't know everything. It's going to take you a while to figure this stuff out. It's going to take you a while to figure this stuff out up here, and it's going to take a while for your body to get used to it and figure it out as well. Listen, nobody that I know just like jumped in smooth sailing, okay, now I'm eating all raw from day one. It's an experiment. There's tricks that you've got to play with your body. You've got to try things. You've got to eliminate things. See how different things work in your body. But keep it simple, stupid. The KISS theory, K-I-S-S. One thing, and a lot of people are gaining weight during this quarantine because they loaded up a bunch of garbage in their house before all this started. I say now and all the time, clean up your kitchen. Okay, even if you don't live by yourself, do the best you can, but get rid of the garbage. Get rid of the garbage and replace it with good stuff, because 90% of the time, you're going to eat what's in your house. And at least make it tough on yourself. If you're going to eat crap, or if you're going to eat something that you shouldn't, make yourself get in your car and go out, but keep good stuff around the house. One place to start is just eating fruit for breakfast. I liked when I did a video recently just for starting a plant-based diet, not focusing on the raw part, and I got good response on that, on people that just said, yeah, that's what I do. I eat fruit for breakfast. Just make fruit your go-to for breakfast. Now, people will ask me stuff about soaking oats and doing this and that. I'm not telling you that's a bad thing. I ain't got no interest. Why the hell do I want to soak some oats and eat them in the morning rather than fruit? But if that's your thing, I don't have anything against it. But I feel like going back almost 30 years when I read this book, Fit for Life, which I've referenced a number of times, fruit for breakfast, fruit till noon. That is a great way to start. Even if you're not going to be a fully raw food person, maybe you're not even going to be raw food at all, fruit till lunch will do wonders for your life. So try to do that fruit for lunch. Learn a few recipes. Learn some recipes that you really like. Now, people that have watched me for a while are going to go, well, you've mentioned that a million times. Yes, I have, but people don't tend to catch on. You need good recipes, but you don't need hundreds of recipes. Basically, what you need is an arsenal of anywhere from 5 to 10 recipes. If you've got 5 to 10 good raw recipes that you like, that will go a long way. Because like today, I'm kind of on cruise control, and I'm not saying, once again, anybody should eat exactly like I do, but I have right now I eat ice. I've been eating ice cream for breakfast. I ate a big thing of ice cream in the morning for breakfast. Usually middle of the day, I'll have a big, huge salad with a full head of romaine lettuce or green, some sort of lettuce. And, I eat that. Now, one thing I will say too, now that I talked about a salad, one thing that raw people screw up on is the greens. Look, if you're all into this fruitarian thing, you probably need to follow somebody else. I eat a lot of fruit. I believe in eating a lot of fruit. Hell, I might still be considered a fruitarian just by the percentage of fruit I eat, or the percentage of fruit, because that makes up a huge bulk of my diet. But I am not down with that only eating fruit. And we can just agree to disagree, because I know the fruitarians will argue that till the end of time. But you need those greens. The healing comes through the greens. There's lots of minerals in those greens. There's a lot of minerals that we get from the greens that we're not going to get from the fruit, especially in the state that fruit is in today. I mentioned the medical medium. Now, once again, I'm not a total follower of the medical medium. I'm not a total follower of anybody, but he's got some good explanations on why on the greens. And he's not even really a raw foodist. That's another issue right there, but that's not to get into. But he recommends that that's what's missing from most people's diet, is people do not focus on the greens. So that's what I'm focused on every day. I focus on getting as many greens as I can in. I supplement my green intake with this daily green boost. Just because I'm trying to get greens in all day. And what do I generally get in a day? I'll usually have, a full head of, and I still don't feel like I get enough. I'll get a full head of romaine in my salad when I make my smoothies, which I just had one. I'll use bananas and I cram kale in there, and I cram kale and I blend it. And then I put more kale in there and I blend it. And I put more kale in there, I blend it. And I also add a couple of tablespoons of the daily green boost. Still feel like I could get in more greens. Get in those greens. The fat. Don't go nuts on your fat. That's why, and let's just talk about that for a minute. So many people sacrifice what I consider health to eating fat just to stay raw. In other words, like, fat makes it easier. Like, you can gobble down a bunch of fat. The more fat you gobble down, the easier, it'll be to stay raw. If you're, eating tons of avocados, tons of nuts, tons of other things. Now, every time I say that, there's going to be that, what's wrong with fat? There is nothing wrong with fat. And I'm not even telling you to go uber low. But, some people, 80-10-10, I like that ratio. I don't go on that ratio year round, but, there's a lot of healing. Once you up the greens, lower the fat, there's a lot of healing to your body in there. But anyhow, all I'm just saying is don't go nuts with it. There's people, I saw, and this is on the front page if you go in and search on YouTube. There's one of your most prominent YouTubers out there. Check out their recipes all the time. There is so many, and somebody recently sent me a little message saying that they had tracked they did a what I eat in a day video, so much fat in there. I'm not telling you not to eat any fat. Fat's good for our body. Fat's good for our brain, our health, our hair, our skin, everything. But you don't need to be eating 25, 30 and higher percentage of fat. So limit that fat. And that's why I'll always tell people that always focus on your health, as opposed to just, I'll do whatever it is to stay raw. Because I'd rather see somebody eat some clean sweet potatoes that are steamed, baked, whatever, as opposed to having some dish that is just laden with fat. You've either got like the equivalent of a cup of cashews or 3 avocados or whatever, but don't just choose fat to stay raw. But in the beginning, you shouldn't focus on being fully raw. unless you're ready to do it. If you're in the right place, I went very high raw in the beginning because I was down in Costa Rica at the time, but you're just trying to get there. Unless you have some sort of real serious illness that needs to be healed, you're not in any hurry. Most of you probably in your 30s, your 40s, some of you might be in your 50s trying to be raw. So, just do a transition that makes sense for you. I've talked about that before. I like a transition. I like the idea. I think in 5 months, anybody could go from standard American diet to fully raw if you want to be. For clarity's sake, I'm not fully raw here in the States. I don't want to be. I'm not trying to be because I can't keep the weight on here because I just don't get enough of the fruit here. So like I say, that's your decision, but you could go from standard American diet to fully raw within 5 months. You go first, month 1, you could actually do it in 3 months. Month 1, you go raw till noon. Month 2, you go raw till dinner. Month 3, if you're on the 3-month plan, you go fully raw after 3 months. If you need a little bit more, in month 3, you do raw all day until dinner, and then you do dinner raw 3 nights a week. Then month 4, you do dinner raw 5 nights a week. And then by month 5, you're doing it 7 nights a week. So you have to choose what, the transition that's going to be comfortable for you. Don't follow anybody. Don't follow anybody. Don't follow anybody. Not like, I'm not saying don't go follow people technically follow people on YouTube, but don't have a guru. Think for yourself. Don't follow me. Question everything I say. Question everything. Go look it up for yourself. Google, YouTube are wonderful tools. Everything you got a question for, instead of asking a person and going through the filter of their brain, you can go straight to Google. You can go straight to YouTube, and you can type your question in verbatim. And then you go and you watch and you listen to a number of different people. Listen to what everybody has to say. Don't get caught up in dogma. Don't get caught up in personalities because you like a person, you follow them. And conversely, you might not like some people. There's some people out there, you're going to see some of their information, you're not going to like them. You're not going to agree with everything they say. Take what you can use from them, but have an open mind in taking in information. Some of the books like I recommend are, one of my favorite authors in the plant-based world is Brenda Davis. She's got 2 books, Becoming Vegan, Becoming Raw. There's 80-10-10. 80-10-10 is a wonderful book. I'm not I don't follow the thing like a religion. I don't follow every tenet of it, but I use a lot out of 80-10-10. The Natural Hygienist, Arnold Ehret. There's some good stuff in detoxing the body in there. There's some good stuff in transitioning in Ehret's stuff. But once again, this is not like a club, joining a club. This is for our body. This is for our health. So, think of it like that. And I know I'm throwing a lot out there today, but like I say, this is a basic video. So eat your fruit till noon. Get your greens in. Keep the fat in the lower range, whether it's 10, 15, 20%. Green smoothies are a great way to get your nutrition in, and it's a way to get a lot of bang one of your meals of the day. Like the smoothie I just had, I was just out in the sun. I came in, I was really hungry, and I probably used 8 bananas in here. Bananas, kale, a little bit of cacao, and then my daily green boost. I got my greens in there, I got my fruit in there, I'm staying, and that's going to keep you full. There's probably like 800-900 calories, maybe 1,000 calories in that smoothie, so I'm going to be good for a while. So if you satiate yourself, if you eat things like that will keep you full, your head's not going to be like, oh, I want to eat that pizza, oh, I got to get that cheese that I'm addicted to. No, but anyhow, just some tips today. I'm going to do some more of these beginner videos. You can even reach out to me and tell me some specific things you might like to see in these. But once again, go watch some of my other videos and kind of pick up on my vibe, and don't be like, don't ask a guy an engineering question that's obviously not an engineer. But anyhow, hope you enjoyed this one today. If you like it, please give me a thumbs up, and I'll see you guys again in a couple of days. Peace.